So, we've seen, at least from the Acquia standpoint, that the collaboration that can occur with open source, and if you look at what Paul Smith said today during his opening comments, when you utilize open source, you put the power in the hands of the users that are trying to solve specific problems. And if you can have that pinpoint focus on the issues that they're trying to address, the power of open source becomes very significant versus a proprietary platform that is trying to cover a lot of different areas. Open source allows you to focus like a laser beam on the areas that need to be addressed and come from the end user's perspective. Well, the one that comes to mind initially is DHS. Keith Trippey, who is the executive director of enterprise services over at DHS, has built a platform that is standardized on open source and specifically the Drupal content management system. And what they've done is they've created a framework by which all the different components within DHS can leverage the same shared services environment, which drives obviously significant cost savings, additional value not only to the components but to the end users that are trying to use these websites, but more importantly, it provides a central platform by which you can control and disseminate all the information that DHS and its components want delivered out to the public. So we've seen an explosion in open source adoption in the federal sector already, and I think that's going to drive into the state and local markets as well, now that the federal government has proven that open source is a reliable platform by which to do the things that you need to do. So what we'll now see is major states such as Georgia that's begun standardizing on open source for their public affairs sites moving in that direction. And my organization is having many conversations with states all across the country and municipalities about moving in the open source direction and what can be done to enhance their positions. I've been doing this for about 15 years now, and the constant theme I hear from agencies when I talk to them is, oh, our environment's so unique that that doesn't apply what Agency X did. The bottom line is, it's not that unique. You need to collaborate, you need to work together. You don't need to recreate the wheel. In this budget climate, you can't continue spending money on stuff that other agencies have already developed and are able to harness. So if I would give one piece of advice to any government, whether it be federal or state or local, collaborate and leverage what your partners have done. I will simply say that, when it comes to .gov websites and the utilization of the Drupal platform, right now 24% of all .gov platforms utilize Drupal. We see that trend continuing for a couple of primary reasons. One, better total cost of ownership, and two, higher value to the application developers. If you have $500,000 to spend on a new site or application, and you can eliminate the upfront software cost and instead reinvest those dollars into producing a better application, or alternatively pocketing that money and going back to the Treasury or using it for other projects, the value of that is significant, especially given our current budget climate.